Those two series, we'll be going into Agge versus AllAndArity on benzene. We'll see if there's another influx of girlfriends, apparently. Oh man, this is still so hot. Alright, so spawning in the top right-hand position as the yellow Protoss, we have Agge. And in the bottom left-hand position as our blue Zerg, we have A3. I don't know what he likes to go by. If you guys know what he prefers to go by, I can call him by that, but I don't know. I was hoping to be able to eat this a little more easily, but it's super hot, so it requires intense focus to eat, intense care. Alright, so probe heading out here for Agge down the ramp. Looks like we're going to put a pylon in the natural. Pylon. Alright, so we have a pyloni. And we got Overlord. So now we wait. Now we wait and see. Tempest says he has a glass of whiskey. This one is an influx of claiming you asked multiple people to practice all week long. Really, the only time you asked was 45 minutes before your match when everyone was busy. How did that result in a vain off racing? I don't quite understand what that would. I have no idea how that would result in an off race anyway. We do have overpull here, by the way, from our boy A3. Oh. Little Chava says Alan versus Agge. So Little Chava starting a little bit of drama in his own team here, claiming that his teammates are not being truthful about their practicing. I can neither confirm nor deny these rumors, of course, because I am not a part of either of these teams. Apparently, Samyang Fire is having a little bit of a team schism right now, a little bit of internal angst, internal struggle and tension. So Forge is done. And we've got 3 pairs of Lings out here, along with a cannon, so that should be fine here for Agge, especially with the gateway up and a probe to block. Gateway just goes to the side, and then there's a nice little hole. It's quite easy to block. Oh wow! Apparently this got intense, because apparently someone just quit the team after this. Oh lord. Alright, so okay, so pylon block at the natural. Soup eating in the main of Lmaster. So the pylon goes down, third base at the gas location. A little bit further away, but of course it's got gas and it does have some tight chokes, so it's not too bad as far as defending it though. Oh, okay. This might have, I think this has a slight hole in it, and then this has a hole in it, so that's like a 2-hole wall. Probably could form actually a tighter wall by moving the gateway 1 hex to the right. Oh, actually he's left 2 Lings back at home? Okay, so he's left 2 Lings at home. So 4 Lings, definitely not enough to scare 1 cannon. See if he tries to run by or anything like that. Yeah, it looks like, oh, actually no, Agge's gonna try to send out a probe. Oh, well, that probe was not being paid attention to. So it meets a very untimely, very early death. And 2 cannons. Ooh, actually he's had a 2nd cannon, so definitely overkill. Did not need that really against 6 Lings. Can almost always get away with it. And ooh, look at this. Look at this, boys. But we don't have an upgrade. Looks like we might see some super fast upgrades from A3, but that remains to be seen. Cybercore. Oh, that is a very late Cybercore. This is about when Stargate timing is supposed to be, like right now. So a very delayed core, and again, it's one of those cases where just the cannons and some other things have really delayed Agge's build quite a bit. However, A3's build, I don't know what's going on with it. He's getting a ridiculously, almost comically fast carapace. Be interesting to see what he plans to do with that. I don't feel like that really has any cute benefits in ZVP. You can actually do that as a bit of a troll build in ZVT if you get like a really fucking fast carapace and then go like really aggressively to ultras. You can get some just obscenely upgraded ultras that the Marines just literally can't hurt. You can get 2 ultras that'll just kill like 4 groups of Marines because the damage is just non-existent. It's some boring soup, just chicken noodle soup. Alright, we got Stargate and Citadel here. And we've got, what, 4 hatches? Do we have a Hydrogen? No, we're going to get a lair now. But carapace before lair, that's critical. You really got to get that carapace out fast. And he will have +1 carapace before Protest's +1 weapons finishes, so do keep that in mind. We got our Stargate, got our Pylon. And so far, everyone has pretty much played very much the same. +1 speed lot off of 1 or 2 gates, and then as soon as that moves out, throw it on the archives, maybe make a couple Corsair, but not really committing to Corsair. And it looks like Agge's going to play similar, although he's going to put down 3 gates. But Zealot Aggression is definitely the theme. All of these players, perhaps all of these Protosses on the same team, I have no idea. It would explain that whoever is coaching them the same way, because they're all basically doing the same build. Zealot chasing those lings around just a little bit. Oh, and the lings run in, and 1 goes down, but then A3 does react and pulls those back. And quite interestingly, A3 has a boatload of APM for as weird of a build as he's doing. He's finally getting a 5th hatchery. He's got this crazy fast +1 carapace. He is getting a Spire up, and he is making Overlord behind this. So, doing a good job avoiding those supply blocks. Still has these 3 Zealots on the map, though, that are going to be kind of annoying. And he's actually made 2 creep colonies, which is obviously overkill. Arguably didn't even need 1, especially if he's making lings. Okay, so yeah, this is way overkill. So he's made a whole bunch of defense. So this is the kind of like little things that you can do as Zerg. If you do this, yeah, you live, but you also end up decently far behind. You know, that's, again, you just have to think of things in terms of drone cast. Wow, Agge really doing some nice micro there, absolutely decimating the initial lings of A3, but now A3's got enough out. He's going to go for the surround in range of the Sunken, so those Zealots will evaporate, and he cleans that up. But again, you know, in terms of cost, he was still making lings up here. That's 5-6 drones, you know, that's 10 drones. That's a huge economic difference. Now he has to at least wait, you know, for another wave of drones from all of his hatcheries before he can start his mass unit production, if that's indeed what he wants to do. Yeah, thank God that +1 carapace was like absolutely critical. I mean, you can't even imagine what he would have done without that +1 carapace. His lings still died just about as fast. Zealots still take 3 shots to kill lings, +1 carapace or not. Like, +1 attack maybe would have made slightly more sense, but even then. Zealots are just too high of damage units for carapace to be like this godly upgrade. Although, if Agge was looking at that, he probably would be like, that's weird. +1 carapace. Okay. So Agge is not really opted to make any Corsairs, which means that a Muta switch would be very annoying. And there's certainly enough gas to make that a possibility in terms of how much he's mining, but he's not chose to spend it on that. Where has he spent his gas on? He's getting a 6 hatchery, he's getting for a very fast Queen's Nest. And a whole lot of lings. Well, no, not a whole lot of lings. But Q Hydra, does he have Lurker or anything like that? I'm not seeing it right now. Adding a 2nd Evo chamber. Did he go quickly for... Okay, so he is really staying on top of his upgrades. So he's big into this carapace upgrade, really committing to this. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4, we got 7, make that 8 gateways. And we have a lurker on the way. Long time away from lurkers. Protoss with a bit of a mixed comp, not a ton of zealots, but he's starting to add in a few dragoons. Lots of gas, though. Could definitely stand to add in a few more Templars, which is interesting because he already has 3 Templars. I guess some of that's saved from the Corsair, and he has popped a Corsair. Oh, he's actually got... Okay, he's got 2 now at the natural. I wonder if he's going to continue making those. Does he have a Robo? Scourge coming in, taking a look. They are going to die, though. Should get picked off on the way out. But does get a nice scout off, so good scout there. +2 coming up for Protoss. Carapace should be almost done for Zerg. Hive on the way. Apparently this pylon is going to block his shit from getting out. So will this gateway, though, within reason. He has left a bit of a walkway, but that's going to be an annoying walkway for sure. Does he have a Robo? This is a Robo? Okay, so he's getting a Robo. Lurkers are on the way for our Zerg player. And alright, Protoss is going to move on out. Actually, Dragoon's path through that a little bit better than I expected, in all honesty. So his army's able to get out fairly easily. And now Protoss onto the map. Although if we look at this, Zerg is in a pretty healthy spot as far as supply goes. So, I mean, this looks reasonable for A3. As long as he morphs a few lurkers, this is not an insanely huge army from Protoss. The backbone, in terms of that, is only about 6 Dragoons. So, you know, not huge lurker busting potential, so as long as a few lurkers get made, which actually there's a boatload of lurkers up here. I don't particularly love this burrowing scheme, but, you know, more than enough lurkers to keep this safe. I'd like to see a few more come down here just to defend this area, but obviously there's no way Protoss is ever breaking this, no matter what. He just don't break locations like that. And Protoss taking this base, I think the Zergling can probably see it, but A3 has other things on his mind right now, like this giant Protoss army that wants to kill his 4th base, and he is scrambling to get units in place right now. Very clumped, though. Incredibly powerful first storm. He's absolutely going to need to get his lurkers over here, or there's no way he's defending this. He actually was getting a pretty good spread there on his units, but the numbers of units he has just not even enough. So it looks like Protoss has run over this location pretty easily, and that is a nice win here for Agge, as this location just not defended up sufficiently. Oh, and Agge's got a double forge going on. He's at 2-1. Zerg is just at 2-0. Zerg does have a forge up at his 3rd, but it looks like he's not upgrading from it. And now the lurker's coming back here. Is there no... Oh, okay. So Agge might lose his army leaving here, depending on what Zerg has, as these lurker spines do reach in, but the base has been denied. Overlord's flying in a bit too far past their pay grade. And let's see, did Agge macro... Oh, ouch. 0 macro during that entire attack, so no reinforcements at all. So Agge's going to be left without an army here once this dies, or very minimal, no army. Okay, finally he starts a little bit of stuff, but he's literally going to be left with almost no army whatsoever. And this should finally get cleaned up, although is there any... Oh, okay, so he could storm the drones. Nope. Could he storm the drones? He could. It's hypothetically possible, but that's not going to happen. So this army's going to die, and he has, right now, about 6 Dragoons. This is a really, really terrible position for Agge. If A3 was on top of this, he could expand 2 or 3 times right now behind this and be just fine. He's got enough production that, you know, it's not like Protoss could just build up a huge army and then Agge wouldn't be able to deal with it, or A3 wouldn't be able to deal with it. So yeah, and he's in danger, of course, of having this 3rd base shut down, and also this base over here. So this is a very, very vulnerable time for Agge, largely due to overextension, and more than anything due to just some unfortunate poor macro here. So this base is 100% gone. I'm surprised he's even sending goons up to save it. If he actually commits with these goons, that is a really poor choice. Maybe doing a little too much goon micro, but he is getting his gateway going. The fact that he's not making Templar, though, is very, very concerning right now. That's not good for him. Alright, so a few Dragoons coming up here. They're obviously super fucking dead. And now it's a matter of, can he hold into this base? If he loses this base, he's in a very bad position. because Zerg will have 3 base. He's establishing this, and Agge is going to be close to mining out. So Lings come in here and like, oh wow, there's not that much Protoss right now. Few more Dragoons, although A3 does not have a ton of units here. I mean, like it's iffy whether he can run in here and kill this. If he had a Defiler, it'd just be over. And he went for Hive a while ago, so it's a bit of a shame that he doesn't have a Defiler. Alright, so the Lurkers are moving in and burrowing. Scourge coming to look for observers, but there are cannons here, so that's going to sort of help take care of that, but just not enough units here to bust down this army. So this goes fairly well for Agge, and he holds on to his 3rd, and A3 is going to donate quite a few units here. And we just need an OBS here. And we can clear out those Lurkers. How is there not an OBS? That observatory. Oh, that observatory was made a long time ago. Got a pretty big flood of Zerglings coming in here, but there are Templar now, but ooh, nice target firing on the first Templar, but still, that group of goons there, just a little bit too big for this to be dealt with on its own. He needs to get Defilers under here, or we'll come in with a larger group of units. And again, another round of Overlords are going to come in here to their death. A3 has definitely bled quite a few Overlords. But he's doing a good job. He's expanding all over the map as this goes on. And he is macroing quite well, in all honesty. I think his drone saturation might be a little bit on the low side. Indeed it is, but I mean, he is keeping his money nice and low. Just needs a few more drones out, and he would become terrifying very quickly. Although, same situation for Agge. Agge is not super high on the number of probes he has. I do like the fact that Agge has a few Sares hanging around. Allows him to respond fairly quick to any sort of Mutalisk switch. Alright, nice move here by A3. He's going to go to this bottom base, shut down the Nexus over here, keeping Agge on that base, and a DT is headed out here. Although I don't think well, actually, this base is... There's Overlord coverage of the bridges, but if A3 is distracted, then this DT could come in here and definitely get something done. Looking at the upgrade situation, we can see it's 2-1, but we are working our way towards our 3-2. And I see Defilers out finally. And it looks like our Zerg is at 3-1. So Zerg is capitalizing on those upgrades, and now we're going to drop the main, which is very, very exposed, and his units are positioned a long ways away. So 3-ling drop could easily kill, you know, 5 or 6 gateways, depending on Protoss's reaction here. If something else happens while this drop goes on, could definitely see a lot of gateways dying. But we'll see. In comes the drop. Feelings are going to kill this cannon, but they are immediately, of course, on top of the gateways. And a spawning Zealot is being attacked by these Lings. They're not going to focus the gateway, so that actually might work out pretty well for him, because it's literally drawn all these Lings back to the ramp rather than attacking gateways. And Corsair's there to chase over the Overlords. It looks like he's probably just going to lose 1 gateway to this attack. And that cannon, a few probes being picked off here, but that is going to be about it. There are some units here, but there are some Zealots now to defend this base, and we have a large Lurker force with Lings moving in here to attack. There's a Defiler, but there are also a lot of Templars, so let's see how the spreading is on these Lurkers right now. And if there's going to be... Oh, there's not enough for energy for Swarm, so this is a big mistake here from A3, who's going to donate a ton of Lurkers, especially... Oh, there's an opposite position. So he's just donating away Lurkers like crazy here to Agge, as neither of his Defilers had consumed yet. Does he have Consume? We hope so. But he doesn't throw down any Swarms, doesn't have the energy, and that's a painful loss. Another, you know, 100, 600, 700 gas just thrown away. Now, 4th base is kind of up. It looks weird because there's like all these Zerg Overlords over here that makes it look like this base is constantly dying. And now A3 trying to come across the bridges. Defiler is going to die to splash. So that attack for him sort of crumbled. We are going to be dropping on top of this base. However, Corsairs are in a pretty good spot. Will they be able to shut this drop down in time? Probably it's not going to do much. With the cannons there, with the Zealots there, it's going to be a little slow to drop. I don't think it's going to overrun this position. Although it is going to get chased away. Most of the Lings unload, but yeah, those cannons proving to be too strong. More cannons being added. and just Defilerling right now as the choice for A3. Is there? Okay, so he's going to look to go ultras behind this, which means he will be able to make a boatload of ultras when the time comes. At least a control group. So, oh! Okay, gets the Archon. And, okay, we got some Scourge out to chase the Corsairs. Corsairs are going to fly back to the cannon, so I don't think the Scourge will connect. And, wow, that is some reinforcements. Alright, so one Corsair goes down, but just one. And we have a ton of DTs. Ooh. Some soup in the throat. Alright, so Doom's microing back here. And, I mean, Agge isn't doing a whole lot. But he has secured a 4th base. I would like to see him taking another base and defending his main a little bit more against drops. I don't know where these Scourge are headed, but this is not the best spot for them. Several Defilers, several Links could definitely get some plays off on this army. And let's see, do we have some ultras? Yeah, we got some ultras in production. We're getting ultra speed first. Ultra armor first is usually what you want to get. I mean, the speed is nice, but without the armor, ultras are just they're a little on the squishy side, in all honesty. Quite a fleet of Corsairs, though, running around now, and not a whole lot of anti-air. Check that. There's no anti-air besides a few Scourge. Although there's enough Scourge to definitely cause trouble for those Corsairs, especially since they don't appear to be stacked with a probe in any way. So they will spread out a bit, allowing these Scourge to connect, although not like that. So those Scourge all go down, and, okay. Well, 2 Corsairs bleeding off there. But now, well, there's still 2 Scourge. I doubt there's too many more Scourge being made, though. And so, yeah, these Overlords are going to become obnoxiously harassed. And the Corsairs are going to split up and whatever. But this is going to be really annoying for A3 right now. He's going to be like, oh my god. Oh my god. He's going to be hearing the sound of his Overlords dying all the time. And these DTs now are going to be beautiful to mix in here. DTs, obviously heavy damage hitters, work great even against Ultralisk with armor, which he's actually not getting armor, which is not so good. He spawned, A3 spawned a boatload of Overlords, and now Agge is getting a bit sloppy, starting to lose those Corsairs. DTs are just gonna, I guess, apparently just walk in here and just kill this base. So, yeah. Alright, so that base goes down. This base is still up, although totally undefended, very vulnerable to a DT or something of that nature, just sneaking in here and picking off that base. Although this is a giant fucking Ultralisk army right now. If a few swarms go up, well, actually, there's nothing left at this base. Let's see what Agge does here. Alright, so the swarms are going up, so the Dragoons need to retreat. Where is Agge's army? There's really not much of an army out right now for Agge. I mean, he's getting damage done in a few places, but he's losing a lot to these Ultralisks. Okay, now the rest of the Ultras are coming in here. More swarms being thrown down. There's a random-ish cannon on the high ground there. Alright, so here comes a little bit of his army back to defend, but that is a hell of a lot of Ultralisks to fight. The 2 Archons are definitely going to be nice to have, though, but if there's a little bit more being rallied in, a little bit of a surround, then those Archons should fall fairly quick here to these Ultralisks, and that ought to be about it. There we go. Now we're starting to get the surround, and we know how this ends for Protoss. So those Archons are picked off. The DTs actually have killed all the Overlords over here. So Agge is, A3 is losing this base. Which is actually pretty amusing, but there's not very many minerals left, so it's not actually the biggest loss. And all of a sudden, A3 is very... Well, no, he's still got this base. Alright, so now we're about to have this base. So I think A3 is going to... Or Agge is going to lose the last of his mining. He's got to attack their pylons, actually, though. A few Lings are going to get on top of the cannons, which is nice. Alright, one Ultra has found his way on the top of the cannons. But there's, like, no units here. I don't know... This is really not a good time to not have much macro going on. So he's losing this base. So that's it on mining here for Agge. But it's mostly it on mining for A3. And a pretty good bank for Protoss, but pretty even supplies. And Zealots being sent in here, but they really can't do anything to fight against these Ultras. So this base is just going to get overrun. DTs have cleaned up everything over here. Which is a bit unfortunate because A3 had enough. A3 should really establish this base, re-establish this base like right away. A little bit of over defense over here, but he's starting to feel, I guess, that base is important. But unfortunately, Agge's just kind of bleeding units to A3 when what he really needs to do is focus on Reavers, Archons, just getting up a composition that can fight against this right now. And I mean, I feel like Agge's in a pretty good position, except for, well, is he about to get overrun here at this base? If he gets overrun at this base, then we get a really interesting late game kind of situation going on. And he has not started morphs on any of these Sunkens. If he starts the morphs, they'll probably finish in time, but not before the DTs kill off all the drones or do other such things. I guess he's too busy watching his Ultralisk right now to notice that this base is just getting wrecked. Alright, so he's going to lose this base. So we're going to have no mining against no mining with a massive, no, not actually that massive of a drop into the main. Most of these are just dud overload. Oh, this is not going to get shut down. Like, no way. I don't think there's like any Ultras in here, just a few Zerglings. So they are getting on, maybe there are enough of them. Okay, I underestimated Zerglings. They're actually going to be enough to kill these cannons. So this turns out to be a pretty good drop for A3. So we're basically in a no mining versus no mining type situation now. And that's usually very favorable for Protoss. I mean, the one good thing Zerg has going on is he has a lot of units. A lot of Ultralists. He still has a Defiler. But the downside to Protoss is he has very few Storms and very few Reavers. And he is very badly broke. Still has enough money to build another Nexus, but not really enough money to build any other units. And, oh, actually he has, okay, that's really nice that he has 2 Reavers. And if he can be annoying with those, that can be worth it. Okay, gets the pickup on that. Let's see what mileage he can get out of this Reaver. And is Agge just going to try to break the natural? Plague goes down, shuttle's out of position though, so he's going to lose both Reavers. Oh, what a save on that one. And that Scarab softening up those Ultralisks. And let's see if this is going to be close. I think there's enough here to defend from Agge, and this is basically a commitment from A3 right now. And a good storm hits the Ultralisk, and it looks like this is enough to defend this. I don't know where the Reaver went. Did he die somehow? Alright, so that's it there. And now he's got only Lings. Only Lings. Agge has enough to reestablish a base over here if he wants to. So I think this is Agge's game. I think. These Lings, well, don't lose Templar needlessly. But there's, oh yeah, there's not enough money for a base. A few Lings being wasted at the front trying to pick off this Templar, but not going to happen for him. Also trying to get a Templar over here, but again, not going to happen. He got one of them. But, I mean, Agge's saved enough for a Nexus, and Agge can just put all his stuff over here now, and there's not enough from A3 to take this game, so it looks like A3's gotten it done. Nothing he can do that I can picture to stop a Nexus from going up over here. Has an obs on the way to clear that out. There's just these small amounts of Lings, but no way the Lings are going to win the fight against this up a ramp. Actually going to shuttle probes over here. Oh shit! That's one way you could actually kind of throw a game. If you just lost your Zealots with their second pylon, and there we go. A3 says GG. And first game goes to Agge. So we'll have to see what A3 picks for map number 2. Not surprisingly, it picks the most standard map. One of the easiest maps to be comfortable with, Fighting Spirit. So, spawning in the top right-hand position, up 1-0, we have Agge. And in the bottom right-hand position, as the Blue Zerg, we have A3. And for a while there, I honestly thought A3 was going to win that, and then that late game got crazy, and those DTs... that was actually ridiculous. Had there been a Spore at all those bases, like, Agge would have lost that game in a landslide. But somehow the DTs were able to literally just walk to each of Zerg's bases and kill them. I would honestly deem that something of a throw. So we'll see where Agge goes from here this time. And where A3 goes, honestly. I'm guessing Agge is probably just going to Forge Expand. I haven't seen anyone have a tendency to want to do Gate first. And I am curious whether this is going to be overpull or a 12 hatch here from A3. Alright, so A3 is going to overpull. Probe is down. What are the chances he puts a gateway? He's actually in position like he's maybe going to make a gateway. Aha! I like it. Alright, well, let's see how this plays out. Lings should be out reasonably well in time to deal with that first zealot, so Agge's going to have the more challenging gate first situation. Especially if A3 sees this in time and makes 6 lings. So Forge will go right there. You have your nice little 1-hex wall that you can use for defending. No one informing us that DTs are OP. This may be true, may not be true. Honestly, it's never the thing I can think of that I had the biggest problem with. Alright, so we're banking a shitload of money. Are we going three pairs? I hope we're going 3 pairs. Looks like 3 pairs. Oh shit! He's made drones. He made drones. Well, alright, these zealots are going to be able to actually do something. It means, like, if he would have made 3 pairs of lings, they pop out reasonably in time for this zealot, can basically surround it, kill it, then Agge has to go home and be really careful with his defense and getting everything up. However, in this case, it's going to play out more like a normal game, where this zealot is going to be able to harass and do quite a bit of damage. And that's going to be really unfortunate for A3, who has not really done much in the way of scouting either. Alright, so he hasn't seen his... Well, never mind, his drone, I think, saw the zealot. Can you start making lings? Okay, so yeah, he's going to have to deal with the zealot. Now, there's no probe here, so that's nice for him. But still, this zealot is going to be very obnoxious. We're getting a drone drill, but 1 drone already dead, so not the best start, although he's getting a nice little catch there. And he's going to get 2 drones. Oh, okay, that was good reactions. Goes for another one. Alright, so that was pretty good pulls there from A3, and this zealot is going to get cleaned up, so that's good. But we do have another zealot coming in. And it looks like at this point, oh, actually I don't like that forge position. That's not how you're supposed to position it when you're doing this build. It looks like Agge wants to focus on drone kills, but he's going to the mineral line, which is always a risky prospect. He does pick off a ling there, but that zealot's taking a ton of hits, trying to get a drone. Does get a second kill though, and that is worth a lot. However, zealot is fairly low on health. Instantly attacks the hatchery, trying once more to get a drone, can't get it. So that's going to be it for our zealot aggression, but still, killing 2 drones is not bad. It looks like he's getting up safely behind this. Now again, I don't really love this position here. This is not really the way you're supposed to do it. It's supposed to be like pylon, forge, gate, something like that. I think the pylon goes like right here, the gate's 1 hex over, and then the forge sits about there to make the good tight wall. So this wall has a few gaps, but it's not really going to come into play here because A3 wants the drone, and we have zealots sitting in some of the gaps, blocking those off. And we have 100 gas. We're going to see lair. We're going to see. Okay, so we're going to see lair. So. Link speed before lair, FYI. That may be an indication as to what A3 wants to do. It might have an intent to surround something like this with some lings. And this time we don't see the super fast, famous +1 carapace build. We see what you might call normal play. Should be putting down a hatchery though fairly soon as he banks some minerals. And he does have some lings out here to deal with this zealot. And these 2 zealots are being tagged over here. I think Agge's just looking maybe for that 3rd base? I don't know. I thought he saw this already with his probe. And in the meantime, I think we're going to see that same play we've seen every time. Yeah, adding that second gateway, getting the forward. So we're looking at pretty much the same build out of Agge. Feeling very comfortable playing that. And A3 is just going to go, or Agge's going to take his out behind the minerals, and not the best start here on Ling Micro here for A3, although he does get a decent surround on this Zealot, but Agge Micro's back, and oh, good job, walks that Zealot around. And now he's got 3 Zealots with no Lings in production. Yikes. Yikes. Alright, so one Zealot dies there, but it does get a drone. And again, more disruption here. This disruption is really painful. There's another drone. And we're probably going to see another one fall. There's another one. 2 more, actually. Is it going to be 5 more? That's 5 drones already. 6 drones already in this attack. So, A3 is hurting. These Zealots are definitely doing work. And they're also trading well against the Lings. Well, I'm still hungry, but at least I've eaten a little bit of food. I'm slightly less hungry than I was before. Alright, so going up to those 3 gateways, just like we saw last time. And Corsairs out to patrol, and the situation not looking so wonderful right now for A3. I mean, in an uninterrupted game, A3 right now would, if he was going for Hydra play, which it looks like he is, would be looking at having 2 or 3 groups of Hydras already out on the map with full upgrades. As it is, he does not appear to have any upgrades or any Hydra. And right now is mostly just focused on getting out some drones and some Scourge to deal with these Corsairs. Got a control group of Lings, and oh, he's going to make a Sunken or 2. So perhaps he is not going to play aggressively with Hydra. That would be less that's interesting. Perhaps a Spore. So I think we should see him then sending a drone out reasonably soon here to take a back base. I hope he's not going to make two creeps if he wants to play aggressive with Hydra. Also, the fact that he's not getting Hydra ups and is instead getting Carapace kind of suggests something similar. And Agge is trying to just take his base, take his third. Is that +2 weapons? Yes, it is. Getting his +2. First Carapace for Zerg coming out. And Zealot's nicely hold position on the ramp. Although, look at this Zergling here. Snuck up and been a little sneaky boy. And uh-oh, that's how you lose Corsairs. So a bit sloppy there from Agge. Loses his 2 Corsairs. Wonder if that'll prompt a Muta switch or something cool like that from A3, who actually has a decent bit of gas banked up, although he did not make Muta with that. His gas did not suddenly plummet to 0. He's just making drones. I would like to see that hatch going up behind. And for now, A3 is just focused on defending. Does sneak some Zerglings around, but it doesn't really matter. There's 2 cannons and a group of Zealots there to deny that base. There's 4 gates, Stargate. And there we go. Now we got a drone to take that back base, so A3 just looking to play macro style. Get a huge economy and then just, you know, either play 8-9 hatch, mass Slayer army, or go quickly to Hive. Adding, what, 2 more gateways, so now headed up towards 6 gateways. And Nexus on the way. We can see he's getting his energy upgrade for his Templar. Presumably he already has Storm. And a few lurkers are being made here to defend the Nat bases from Agge. And behind this, let's see, what are we going to get? Are we going to get any more units, or are we going to get still mostly drones at this point in time? It still looks like mostly drones. But of course, Protoss is already getting his third base, so he's not going to feel too bad about this, especially because the drone saturation for Zerg is still not out of control. Like, it's healthy, but it's not like, oh my god. The Spore up over here to defend Overlords. Will this guy die? Probably, but okay. So Agge wisely turns around. I think he needs to go back here and check. It looks like that is what he's going to do. So he's going to confirm that there's a base going up. He's going to say, okay, there's no drones. I feel pretty comfortable with where I am economically. Intentional or accidental, I don't know. Probably accidental. No third gas. Agge likes his DTs, apparently. Got double forges, but double forge is not doing anything. So no 3-1 as of yet. And the Hive is done, so Agge is going to play or A3 is going to play this with Fast Hive. And, whoa, okay. False alarm, false Greater Spire, false Greater Spire. Good pylon wall for the vultures. Yeah, probably Agge's going to go into a different game and mind control the vultures, and then he's going to use them, but he's going to use them to attack his own pylon wall, and he's going to defend it with his own pylon wall and feel like really confident in his vulture defense and his SimCity. Alright, so we're getting a Nidus Canal up now, and we're getting a decent sized army from Agge. Got Defiler Mound. Do we have Overlord speed yet? Probably not, because we went for fast. Yeah, we definitely don't, so that might be an issue since I saw a shuttle, and he's made a lot of DTs. There's a back path he can fly into, although some Overlords are close by. Is there a Corsair fleet waiting to be obnoxious? Don't think so. But alright, out comes the army of Agge onto the map. Has he loaded up the shuttle? Where'd the shuttle? Oh, there's the shuttle. So we got a Zealots, 2 Templars, and a DT. So this is a very interesting drop. Let's see the order in which he does things. Okay, I would have liked to seen him probably poke first. Be distracting. Okay, so A3 is watching this. That's kind of a missed storm. And it looks like the shuttle is... Oh, okay. Okay. We got the shuttle down. We got a lot of storms in these Templar. They can be pretty annoying. Although those storms are not really in the greatest of places. So he mostly has to settle for just killing Hydra. And now he's out of storm there. But now here comes the attack into the natural. Not a hell of a lot of units for Agge. There is an obs in here, but it's looking unmicroed. So it's going to go down very fast. And that means the lurkers now become invisible. Which means that Agge should need to pull back from this right now. Unless there's another obs with this army that I don't know about, or he can hit some good storms right now. His Zealots are going to get absolutely shredded by these lurkers, but he is still busting down this base now. This is absolutely insane that he's trying to attack this base with these lurkers here. He's getting some damage done, but it's going to be a huge army cost for him. Although, apparently it's enough for him to get A3 to just GG. So, alright, GG, and we go to game 3. Honestly, I'm a little surprised by that GG. A3 was behind, we can still see from that initial damage, but yeah, I don't know. You just need to make a few Lings and run the mat there, and those Dragoons would have died so fast, taking a combination of Ling plus Lurker Fire, and then Protoss just donated his whole army to you, and I mean, yeah, you lost some drones at your base, but like, it's not that bad. Interesting. Premature GG, in my opinion. Well, yeah, never mind. You're right. This is the same game. For some reason, I thought Agge took it, or that Zerg A3 took the first game. So A3 goes down 2-0, and now we are gonna have Pete versus Adele. Being made by BSL5 Specialist, which reminds me of Specialistic, which is Lita, but I don't think Lita is playing in CPL. Could be wrong. Alright, grabbing more food. I shall return. have returned. We have returned. We have PvP. We have core going down. Core before Zealot over here. And core before Zealot. So we got mirror builds from both players. Although a little bit more supply from one. So perhaps not mirror execution. And indeed, oh, okay, so yeah, Adele did opt to make a Zealot. And Specialist did not. So that probe's gonna get chased around. Dragoon not quite started yet because the core is not finished, but Dragoon on the way here for Specialist. So a little bit faster with that first Dragoon, which makes sense because I think he actually, and maybe he did build Zealot before core, I don't know. Either way, the core quite a bit slower for Adele. And now the core finishes, probe is chased out. Let's see if Adele is going to send this Zealot across the map or not. Doesn't look like it. Looks like this Dragoon's going to come over here and finish off the probe of Adele. Will he get it? He's one shot away! Oh, well, maybe he'll still get it. It's close. It's going to be iffy. He's going to chase it quite a long ways. Okay, maybe, no. Alright. Dragoon looks like it's losing this race now. Although all it needs is one weird pathing from the probe and it'll get... Okay, so it does finally get that last happy shot. And Specialist does chase that probe off the map. We can see range upgrades for both players. Now that's an odd choice. Okay. We're gonna get range along with a Citadel. I don't know where this is going. More standard range, one gate robo opening here from Adele. Yeah, I have no idea where this build is going. What's he gonna do? Is he gonna make a Archives? Or what? Okay, you don't usually get Dragoon range with this, so he's kind of slowing down his build a little bit. Slowing down his DTs a bit, although hopefully Adele is going to go, not go all the way to Reaver right away and play super greedy. Let's see what he makes in there. Oh. Looks like Adele has gone in a bit too far. He's probably going to lose a Dragoon as a result of that if Specialist can get his pathing down pat. Oh, actually he's going to back off. Okay, that's... I don't know, guys. That's going to be a little bit tight. He hasn't even started his Reaver yet. He's probably going to want to make Reaver before he does anything else. This could be bad for Mr. Adele. Let's see, he still hasn't started his Reaver. I don't know what he's doing with his support base so fast. And he's adding Gateway. Still no Reaver. Still no Reaver. Okay, DTs are started right now. I would say this looks fairly bad. Hello, Puffsmeal? Still nothing going on at all. Is there even he's dead. Alright, well, he's gonna die. These DTs, I mean, unless he just kills the army, but, like, the DTs should just go into the main. And, I mean, he hasn't even started an observatory yet. He's just gonna die. The DTs of Doom are coming across the map to end this game faster than it probably should have ended. This cannon's going up, so reasonable execution, just a little weird that he got goon range. DTs are indeed walk commanded straight into Le Mineral line. Still no observatory. Obviously Adele hasn't noticed the DTs, but as soon as he does, and hears this sound, he's gonna just be like, oh fuck. Oh fuck. And there it is, GG. So a quick game 1 puts Specialist up 1-0. And that will take us into game number 2 between these two players. Make a quick change to my stream on TL, even though we're just about done at this point. Can we get this updated? Hopefully. Hopefully it'll update here shortly. Alright, there we go. Cool. Alright. So, spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, up 1-0 Specialist. And in the top left-hand corner, down 1 game, we have SF's Adele, looking to even the score back up. Maybe this game is laggy? Otherwise, I can't think why Specialist would say, ugh. Yeah, presumably they're dealing with some lag. Talk about rehost, but I think they're gonna just play it out. Ooh, Adele reversing the order. Reversing the order back on Specialist. Next is done here. We've got a gateway. We have a gateway, just about the same. So now I guess our next deviation we have to look for is Le Gate. Le Gate there. But I don't see that. Okay, maybe it's gonna happen. No, just a very late gas from Adele. Alright, and Adele, Specialist with a pretty fast scout. It looks like he pylon scouted. Probably a bit faster, strictly speaking, than you need to scout most PvPs. Honestly, you don't really get that much intel. I guess if you really want to know if they're 2-gating, but I don't know. I don't think you need to scout super fast in PvP. Alright, so probe's being put on gas. And core on the way here. Specialist is going to try to kill the pylon. He will almost certainly be unsuccessful. And the core goes down for Adele, but quite a difference in core timing. Especially since Adele didn't make his zealot before the core, so you can just see there's already a little bit of a difference in builds here in favor of Specialist. Just a little crisper, a little bit better execution. This pylon is getting worked on, and Adele is not going to make... actually, Adele is... Oh, jeez. Oh, okay, that hurts. That's a pretty rough supply block. Okay, we don't see speed for Specialist yet, or range for Specialist yet. He's making a Dragoon. We don't see any other tech. I'm expecting we'll see range soon. Especially with no other tech. Alright, so we're going to make another pylon. Now I guess we're going to chase the probe out. Maybe he just wants to chase the probe out before he shows his tech. But of course he's showing a non-spinning core already. So that's something. We have a Citadel this time for Adele that should get scouted. If it hasn't been already. Let's see if Specialist then moves his probe here now. And should be able to scout that there's a Citadel from Adele. Still no sign of his tech or spin on the core. Alright, we're going to get a robo. Is he going to go the right way and see this? Yeah, that probe should see it. It's going to die fairly quickly, but it should have seen that there was DT tech. And he's got a robo, so again, as long as he doesn't go straight into Reaver, he's going to be fine. And a third gateway, so we're going to have 3-gate. That probably means 3-gate obs, which can be dangerous against a DT build. Oh, actually, wait, what? This is a speed slot build. Alright, this is going to get really interesting. Speed slots here from Adele. But with 3 gates of goons, depending on where this goes from Specialist, it's going to be fine. Like, if Specialist stays up his ramp or something and Adele attacks while he's up his ramp, Specialist is going to hold super easy. If Specialist expands, then Adele might be able to give him a hard time. Usually what you'd want to do against this, if you have your expansion, which you probably will, is you pylon wall it up or limit it with gateways as much as possible around this area, and then just let your Dragoons fight from a choke, and then the Zealots honestly can't do a whole lot against you. And so yeah, we're gonna add 4 gates, so it's gonna be just big time crank on the speed lots here from Adele. Dragoons coming out for Specialists as well as an Ob, so we'll have time to see this coming and prepare, so he shouldn't really die to this build. Should not be in extreme danger. Assuming, of course, that he knows how to react to it. Nice pylon coverage of his base there, which is always good to see, especially in PvP. And we're going to go Reaver. So once that Reaver's out, that's useful. Reavers, I honestly do quite a good job against Zealots as well. And out comes this Obs. Now this could be a little bit of a dangerous moment here. With these Zealots coming out, if he does come out and gets surrounded on the map, it would be very bad. We can see a lot of units, of course, from Adele here. Definitely a big army for Adele right now, and honestly, Specialist for the moment just really needs to be up his ramp waiting. He's got this Obs. Oh, he actually doesn't have an Obs. He's going to bind this with a Dragoon. Maybe. And then we'll see how he reacts. Let's see if he knows what to do against this. Oh, okay, the Dragoon is on walk command. He does see it fairly fast, but he should be scared about what he's seeing. And let's see. So far, he has not done anything yet in response, which worries me. Probably started as Reaver. But he's going to definitely need to pull back up his ramp and drill with probes. And oh, he's going to, if he defends the natural, that could go poorly for him. Let's see what he can do here. This is a bit of a ballsy defense to try to defend the natural. Zealots on top of the Dragoons getting hits. He definitely needs to kite back. I think he's taking quite a bit of damage now, and Speed Seal's getting on top of a lot of his Dragoons, preventing the retreat. Although a little bit over micro there by Adele, and now Specialist is going to pull back to his ramp. The Reaver is done, but it doesn't have any Scarabs building, and there are Zealots on top of it, getting off quite a few hits. First Reaver Scarabs go off, and is Adele going to be able to, or Specialist going to be able to defend? I think he's made the wrong choice here, and it looks like Adele is in prime position to take this game. Even a few Dragoons to add DPS there, and another reinforcement of Zealots arrive. A few Dragoons about to spawn, but hey, there's like 2 or 3 of Adele's Dragoons already alive in addition to the Zealots, and it looks like Adele has surprised Specialist, and Specialist didn't quite seem to know the right choices to make here. Should have been reasonably okay, but fighting on the low ground before the Reaver was out, definitely a mistake here for Specialist, and Adele is going to have game number 2, and we are going to see a 3rd set. Our first 3rd set of the evening. That's pretty. Wait, extra high. That's pretty brutal. That's a major lag. That's close to like old BattleNet days of lag. All right, looks like Fighting Spirit has been selected as the map. So, spawning in the top left-hand or top right-hand position as the orange Protoss, we have Specialist. And in the bottom right-hand position as the white Protoss, we have Adele. Tied 1-1, looking for our first 3-0 game, or 2-1 game of the series of the night. Ugh. Our first 2-1 game of any series of the night. You were going up the ramp. Yeah, but like you fought on the low ground for like the first thing you should have done. Like the second your Dragoon saw that coming, like you should have just immediately pulled up the ramp. Maybe done something to get vision of minerals somewhere to drill, and just say, hey, I'm just chilling up my ramp. Drill with the probes on the ramp a little bit. Buy a little bit of time for the Reaver, and then if you're up the ramp, like you hold that just fine. And then you can just sit up your ramp and like mass up 2 Reavers, a few more Dragoons, maybe even throw in a few Zealots, and then come down, and then you just run over them. But like, you have to get off the low ground. Oh, Specialist is a little bit annoyed. Breaking down the savage attack. Oh, really? That's like only the first time you've ever played against that? I guess maybe it's out of style now. That used to be pretty popular to do back when I was playing Protoss the most, like a few years ago. Like, it wasn't like I saw it all the time, but, you know, I'm sure I faced like 30 or 40 games of it at least. But yeah, if you've never seen it, it can be a surprise, and you're just like, oh, okay, what do I do against this? You've only been playing for 4 months? Well, yeah, that's pretty good for 4 months then, man. We got one probe here that is doing idle things. It's not actually mining. Wow, what a tease. That's gonna annoy Specialists. He's only mining probes, gas with 2 probes. Uh-oh. Adele, be careful! Yeah, I think he wants a mana pylon. But he's taking a lot of damage, and Specialist is doing a good job putting his probes in some nice blocking positions. But I don't think Specialist is going to notice this. I mean, he should perhaps notice this since most of his attention is in the main. But there's still a good chance this is going to go unnoticed for quite some time, so it's going to really limit his gas. And again, this probe goes in, trying to get some work done. Does get off. That is not where you put a mana pylon, though. That does nothing. Or does it? Oh, never mind. I lied. I'm full of shit. Ignore Lmaster. That mana pylon is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. Only traps 1 probe, though, so hard to say if it's 100% worth it or not. Why did a gas probe? What the f... Okay, we just actually rallied in a gas probe. Well, that's awkward, but whatever. He does have 3 on gas, though, so there's that. No range on the core yet. This probe should really be attacking this pylon rather than just sitting there, but not the end of the world. We got some spin on the core now. Dragoon out. So both players are getting range on their core. Something, this would really be this probe and not this probe that's attacking that pylon. Still has no idea that he has only 2 on gas. And now he will be able to pick off that pylon. And we do have a pylon down here. And a second gateway, so a little bit heavy on the Dragoons here for Adele. Gonna opt to delay his Reavers or obs just a bit in favor of a few more Dragoons. And he finally recognized this now. So he does have 3 probes mining gas at this point. As he's probably wondering, why the freak am I so gas starved? What is going on? So you see he can't make a Dragoon right now, which is very unfortunate for him. But he does get one started, and he's going to get his row up. This is almost a little extreme towards the ramp, but I do, because I feel like it's going to kind of mess with pathing, but I do like how close Specialist is building his robo to the ramp. It's especially important if you intend to crawl Reavers out for a fast expansion, but in general it's just nice because crawl Reavers, you know, you're saving a good 20 or 30 seconds of travel time if you, as opposed to if you build the robo like back in here. And he's got his 2 gates up as well, and so Adele's going to expand. So this is setting up Specialist here to be the aggressor. And let's note this is another ballsy expand from Adele, because of course if Specialist had gone for DTs, Adele is just going to die. But it is going to be Reaver here, so we'll see what Specialist can do in the hot seat of the aggressor. Yeah, for 4 months this play is quite good. And some Dragoons to the top of the ramp, just hanging out. See Adele working on Goons 5 and 6. Specialist has slightly less Goons because he's invested early in that Robotech. And now there's Robotech out here for Adele. No upgrades there, but we are going to see Shuttle Reaver. So that is also a bit ballsy by Specialist, opting to skip obs. He doesn't really have intel, doesn't know exactly what Adele has done. Shuttle's out, Reaver on the way. And then the next question we'll have to see is if Specialist goes for 2 Reaver or 1 Reaver. The splash from 2 Reavers is really quite a noticeable difference from 1. It's definitely a more powerful attack. The only question is what timings are you going to want to hit? Now with Adele not rushing to Reaver, he needs. Well, let's see. If he goes straight for Reaver, then it'll be interesting. It'll come down to the micro, but he should not quite have a Reaver out by the time Specialist gets here. So let's see, that first Reaver is now finishing up. So let's see, we're gonna load up, and then is he gonna go cross map and go attack, or is he just gonna go harass? Okay, no, he's gonna attack. We got what, 3, 4, 5, 6 dragoons. Oh, he's leaving one. Okay, maybe he's not gonna attack. I don't know. He's just gonna go harass with the shuttle. So say that would be a pretty tough fight for him. 6 goons, 8 goons against 6. I mean, the Reaver's gonna help, but it would need good micro. But now we're coming into the natural. And this first Scarab shot could be everything. It's in a weird spot. If the probes run, they're going to be fine. And they do. So he loses 2 probes. And now the Dragoon's coming over, so Specialist needs to run away. He's playing this risky. He could very well lose the shuttle. Let's see where he drops the Reaver. He's almost certainly going to lose the shuttle. He's got to get the Reaver down, though. So he gets the Reaver down. Do we get a big Scarab shot or not? It doesn't look like it. Pretty mediocre Scarab shot. And now the shuttle and the Reaver are both dead. This is insane if he tries to pick this up. Okay, so yeah, just loses both for very little. So now Adele all of a sudden in a good position. I would say that was a bit risky trying to run into the main. Props to Adele. Good reaction time in all honesty. Seeing that Reaver and managing to get his probes away fairly fast. And unfortunately Specialist also loses one of his obs. And now Specialist is just playing from a pretty behind spot. In fact, oh wow, this game is about to get very weird. This game is about to get weird. The armies have kind of walked across each other, so we'll see where this goes. It's kind of a weird attack from Adele, especially since he has a Reaver coming. Make a heck of a lot more sense to like wait for his Reaver before he does this. But now both players seeing them happen, neither player aware that the other player is past their army, so to speak. And let's see, looking at the main minerals, we can see 6s and 700s. About the same, maybe slightly less mining here for Adele. And all of a sudden, Specialist is like, oh shit, what's going on? So Specialist is going to evacuate to his ramp. It's unfortunate he didn't immediately rebuild a Reaver, otherwise he might even be able to crawl his way down. But he's going to lose his Nexus. At the same time, Adele is in equal danger of losing his Nexus, and how this plays out could easily flip the game on ahead. Adele suiciding a goon, unfortunately. That Reaver is almost done. No speed on here. Let's see. If he had goons popping out right now, he can hold his ramp and harass this pretty easily. He should probably run the probes now. He's not keeping this alive for the moment. And actually, Adele is going to try to return his army. So if Adele returns his army and saves his Nexus, that's really nice for Adele. And honestly, that's what it looks like Adele is going to do. And this is a good move here from Adele. Specialist is going to take tremendous damage. He's going to give up his army. Shuttle coming down. He actually stops even microing the goons. Perhaps he could have tried to run away to the bottom, but that doesn't happen in this case. And now Adele is in a really strong spot. Oh, Adele didn't. Oh, maybe not. Adele didn't actually finish the Nexus, but Specialist does have to deal with a counter from Adele. Reaver coming out. He needs to get. Oh, he's actually gotten. He's gonna have 2 Reavers. Adele's gonna need good micro to bust through this. And thanks to that crawl Reaver position, it'll be in position almost immediately. So he probably reposition his army though. This is a very snipeable Reaver right now, with a shuttle or in any other way. With the Dragoons. Let's see, 2 Reavers coming. Unfortunately, Adele's army kind of derping at the bridges. Bridges proving to be Imba. Nice pickup there, though, from Adele. Shuttle's still alive. Needs to drop the Reaver. Needs to get off a Scarab. But the shuttle goes down, and we're trading. Then one of the Reavers will die immediately, and the second Reaver is going to fall. But can Adele get in there and kill the Nexus? Oh, no, Adele! Okay, there we go. You should be able to get in there and kill the Nexus now. Honestly, if I were Adele, I would just run in and snipe the Nexus. I think he just panicked a little bit too much. Specialist doing the best micro he can. Is he going to have another Dragoon popping? I don't think he is. So that, actually, wait, his Dragoons are holding right now. Adele is trying to punch through. Now, will he go in there and get the snipe on the Nexus? Not at the moment. Specialist, I think, is going to save his Nexus. Very clutch play. Yeah, the Reaver is out now, and that should allow Specialist to hold his Nexus unless Adele goes in for the dive. Actually, that Reaver, that Reaver could be sniped. Should be sniped. Here we go. Needs to split the Dragoons just a little bit better. It's worth it, though, to target fire down the Reaver, but unfortunately, only one of Adele's goons is fighting, and Adele is repelled right now until he brings up the rest of his army. And so that gives Specialist a chance to stay in the game. Still in a pretty rough spot, supply-wise. But, you know, it's not horrible right now. A few cannons. I can't say I love the decision to get cannons, especially when there are Reavers out. If you choose to fall back to those cannons, then the Reavers can just range them down. And we're getting another shuttle, which makes sense. He has those 2 Reavers to play with. And Adele now has his shuttle out. It's going to be a 1 Reaver break. Let's see, will the shuttle get out in time? No. Is he going to go for speed or something like that with which to harass? No, it doesn't seem like it. And the Specialist getting up a decent setup there at his ramp. Would love to have a few more goons coming down. He's got a few in production. He's got a decent number here. Let's see, we're looking at 9, 10. A few less goons, but we have the Reaver advantage here for Specialist, especially with his shuttle now out. So, yeah, it's going to come down to micro, although perhaps Adele is just going to harass now. Let's see. Oh, unfortunate time to pick up the Reaver. Otherwise, 2 Great Scarabs would have just gone off. But in the meantime, we have the shuttle here flying in from Adele. And it looks like we're going to try to distract, perhaps, attacking at the same time. Pretty good reactions from Specialist, though, as he will fly that Reaver right back out. Force that Reaver to fly right back out. And now Adele's circling around, and Specialist goes for the snipe, and he gets it! A very nice snipe there by Specialist. Now